Welcome to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered. This is DeAndre.
This is your boy Nick.
Go to hell. Just go to hell.
Oh God, you gonna introduce yourself?
Yeah, you gonna introduce yourself to the people?
Hi guys, it's me.
You who?
She always do this nonsense.
No, you always do this.
Do what?
Nobody even knew we had started. Did you know?
Well, I seen him hit the record.
I didn't.
Well,
Hey guys, it's me. It's Big Mama.
be prepared at all times. Today we are sponsored by Rita's.
No, we're not.
We're not, but I am.
Hopefully they
For
might.
the people watching us, looking at the green.
Hopefully they might see this.
This stuff is good.
Where's yours?
I gave it to my wife. It was good. It was just a little
Shoot,
sweet.
you can eat that back.
I'm actually on a diet.
Oh, if you don't finish it, I'll finish it.
No, my wife is eating it.
This stuff is good. It's a juicy pear misto shake. If you have a Rita's Italian ice near you, you should really go in and get some of this stuff.
Let me tell you something. If Dre say it's good because this Joker is as picky as a 6-year-old kid.
It's facts. It's very true. How was your weekend?
Weekend was great, actually. Spent some much needed time with the family. Seen some football. Seen my nephew.
How did you do?
He got some improvements to do. You know, I think he's young. It's his first year, but we got to definitely work on his. He just needs some work. But I'm proud of him for getting out there. I'm proud of him for getting out there, doing, stepping out of his comfort zone.
Right, you go, Glenn Coco.
That's not his name.
I watched Mean Girls here with you guys, and you still don't catch the reference.
I don't really watch that all like that.
You did. I watched it here with
Was
all
Glenn
of
Coco
I wasn't
good?
here. I wasn't here for
Was
that.
that a football player?
Yes, you were.
I wasn't here for that.
Yes, you were. It's today that we were in Dre's house before Dre got here.
Studio.
The movie,
We were at the studio.
we were in Dre's studio.
We were at the studio.
Before he came in. And I was watching the movie.
I don't remember.
Whatever. Carry on.
Son, I'm just kidding. No, football's back. It's a good time of year. Going into the fall.
It's almost my birthday.
I hate the fall.
Do you?
I love the fall.
It seems like summer is getting shorter and shorter every single year.
That's where
for
I
whatever.
looked up and it's
No.
summer's gone. I can't believe
I
we're
will have to disagree.
darn
Really?
near through August.
It gets hotter later, and it doesn't even stay hot. We've had more cold days in August than we've had hot days.
I like it like that. Coming from a person that works outside, 'cause I love it like that. It seemed like it got hot early this year, though. It got super hot and yeah. Excuse me.
Are you buffering down there or something?
I'm wondering. We might have
What's
to,
funny? Can
We'll
we
talk
can we,
about
can
it
we
later.
laugh too? Can you share your laugh? Why?
start this episode over.
No, we started. We keep. All right, come on, let's go. Sio, how was your dango weekend?
My weekend was good. I went to Detroit to see my family and yeah. I hung out with my dad,
Nice.
saw my brothers.
I thought you was the only child.
No, you didn't. I don't even know what possessed you to lie.
Actually,
never thought that.
You're right. I thought it was just you and your sister.
No, you didn't.
I swear to goodness, I did. So, up to 2 weeks ago, I didn't even know your last name. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought I put you in a category with like Madonna, Kobe, Oprah.
Stop.
I just thought it was Sio.
Fucking my seal? What do you mean? Like,
That's a compliment. He just gave you a compliment.
I know it's like
No.
you got to be in a high class to just be a first name.
Yeah.
I'm not just a first name. I have a whole name.
Well, they
So
do
do
too.
they.
It's Oprah Winfrey, but you don't ever hear nobody say, "Hey, Miss Winfrey."
Whatever. I'm not an only child.
I thought it was just you and your sister.
No.
Any good eating?
I had Coney Island.
No, we get one of those.
Yeah.
That off-brand ass shit. I'm not eating that.
Did you go to the house of
No.
the Pancake House, International Pancake House?
No.
Why?
Well, when I first got there, my first stop was Coney Island for a corned beef sandwich. And then I went and picked up the keys to the house. And I went to the house. And then I stayed in for the rest of the night because I was tired. And the next day, I got up. I went to see my cousin. You know what?
Sheesh.
But Dre, how was your weekend?
This was good. So first on Friday, what I did was I had a good weekend. Watched some high school football. It was a good game. Top golf.
Wait.
A little bit of bowling.
Wait. Now you did all of this and ain't tell us?
Well, the Top golf wasn't my event.
You know I love bowling.
It was a birthday gathering.
Oh, whose birthday?
It was Dallas's wife's birthday.
You could have invited me to that.
I mean,
Dallas always want to pray with me. It would have been cool for me to show up. I'd have been perfectly invited.
well, I mean,
It's like, nah, Dallas.
I'll let him know.
You go bowling with.
Just a group of friends. So you got a
friends?
topic.
We're friends.
Y'all cats is funny.
What day did you go bowling?
It was a hangout for Dre.
Went to the grand opening at Dope downtown.
Actually, no. How was that?
What
Actually,
is dope?
The new Cedar House.
The cider. Cider house.
At this point, we're getting you hooked on phonics. This is 2 episodes in a row.
Cedar and cider. It could go either way. Like tomato.
Those are 2 different words spelled 2 completely different ways.
I mean, potato.
It's the new. Listen,
No,
if
it's
you guys
like-
are in Northeast Ohio, you guys should come to downtown Youngstown to Dope Cider House Brewery. It's actually super dope.
Is that Hannah's?
Yeah, that's Hannah's spot.
I thought it was open already.
The grand opening was this past Saturday.
Oh, I love that for
We got to
her.
get her on the show.
Yep.
I used to work with Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah's super dope.
Yeah,
Just
she
like
is.
her.
I like her.
Her spot. So make sure we should. Well, you know what? We can all go down there actually
Let's win.
tomorrow.
Let's go today.
Okay.
I can't go today.
It sounds good.
So this episode, we're not gonna do a girl versus guy, but I think that we need to have a public service announcement.
What?
I think that we need to discuss a proper etiquette of black people going to parties.
Like what kind of parties?
Stop. I just want to say this. People, let me not say black people, but people in general, we need to stop showing up to parties empty-handed. This is, I wanted to discuss this because I don't think that people know how to properly show up to parties and gatherings. I don't think people know exactly what goes into this stuff. And I think that we need to take this time to really talk about what people need to stop, why people need to stop showing up to parties, weddings, graduation parties, all these different things empty-handed, looking to get fed and stuff and dance and hee hoo ha and go home and stop and not blessing folk.
Amen.
So I want to start off with saying, and we're gonna have a discussion about it. I want to start off with birthday parties and graduation parties because these is young people, and I think personally, and we can talk about this, that needs to be at least a $20 to $30 donation. How do y'all feel about it? Let's have this discussion.
I agree.
I just feel like if we go back to like a graduation party, for instance, we're sending a kid off to college. So when these people have graduation parties, we need to start investing into their future. These kids are taking this money, probably going to pay for some stuff for their dorm. If they're going to college, if they, starting life off, paying for this stuff, we need to stop showing up to graduation parties empty-handed.
I agree.
Why did you even go? Why even go?
I'm going to open up with a story.
Story time.
Story time.
I'm going to open up with a story. When I got married, I'm going to be honest with you. When I got married, we had a disappointing turnout on the number of gifts we got. We had about 300 people.
I need more for the story.
Yeah, we had about 300 people. Well, let's start off by saying, we had a pretty elaborate wedding. Dre, you was there. Sal, like I said, just 2 weeks ago, I just found your last name out. So prior to that, we wasn't friends.
Sorry, was there?
No. But
You see what jumping ahead
So
does?
you owe him a gift.
I wasn't even his friend.
Don't matter.
Like hell.
Did you know?
that's
of him?
when Sal was still toxic at that point.
Oh, okay.
Well, you said, so Dre, you was there. You know, we put
was.
a lot of time, effort. We had a pretty nice wedding. I wouldn't toot our horn, but we had a pretty nice wedding. Cost us a significant amount of money. We had about 300 people, and you know what? We was thinking to ourselves, hey, you know what? We want to take this money. Number one, go on a nice honeymoon. Number two, we want to furnish our apartment. That's what we was thinking. You know, we can furnish our apartment. Now, let me ask you guys this. We had 300 people there. How much money do you think we walked away with?
I don't know. I don't want to play the guessing game. I just want all the facts.
Just guess.
Just put it like this: we had 300 people. What would you bring to a wedding, UK, if you was invited?
A nice wedding gift.
No, I mean like I'm talking monetary numbers. Monetary numbers.
You know, I never really know what's like appropriate for that. I only been to
And that's why we having this conversation.
How old are you?
'Cause we about to
28.
Should be fired. You should know.
Dre, that's
Well,
why
I
we,
know.
well,
So
that's
tell
why
me.
that's why we're having this conversation, because you know there's too many people like Sal out there that don't know the proper amount. We're gonna get
No, she's heard it before.
We're gonna get down.
'Cause we talked about it before.
Okay, let's just say, what would you bring?
Oh, I think my dad's wedding.
We about to get
Did you
this.
give 'em?
Me, the hell, I was the gift.
See, this is why we're having this
It was
conversation.
already married. It
Okay,
was like
so
a
let's.
renewing of vows.
Okay, what do you think? What do you think?
Renew that money.
What would you have brought?
Absolutely not.
What would you have brought? You by yourself. You didn't bring a plus one. What would you have brought?
I don't know. $100.
Well, that's kind of on the high side.
No,
But I'm saying if she would have said $20,
$50.
let's just say 50. So now let's do the math. You think of 300 people, and if everybody thought like you and put $50 in, Dre, what would that math look like?
Why you ask Dre? He pulling out his calculator. Just
the same thing you doing.
You know what? I'm gonna make it even better for y'all. Let's just say
$15,000.
Okay, let's even make it better for y'all. What if 300 people brought $20? That's $6,000, right? That's $20. That's everybody bringing $20. Now I'm gonna allow y'all to think. What do y'all think we walked away with?
$500.
I would have been pissed if that was the case. We walked away with about, I think, $1,300.
That's just cash, like the monetary
That's
gifts.
the monetary gifts.
How were your wedding gifts? Were those at least nice? Huh?
Now, I need you to.
Y'all got one.
I need
One
you-
wedding gift?
Well, we got a lot of gifts for the bridal shower and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is this. You have to stop and think about this. When people get married, you're supposed to help these young couple out, push them into life.
What did your wedding invites consist of? Your friends? Your young friends?
Family, both family, friends. We had a nice wedding. Now let me give you a better context of this. Context. I'm trying to get this right. It costs us about $25 to $30 a plate. Let me give you a little better. It costs us about $30 a plate. I'm gonna say 25 on the.
Give us what it is, Doc. Was it
20
27?
Let's say 25.
I'm doing the math. See how much y'all spent on those plates?
So I'm gonna let y'all know that's just the food.
8,100.
That is not 81.
So,
$27.
That's why I want to have this conversation, because people don't know what goes into these parties. And then there's too many people, I'm not coming at you, Sal, but there's too many people that think, hey, I don't know what to bring. So let me just bring this or let me just bring that. And you know what? I want to have a conversation because people need to know we're too old to be showing up to parties, not bringing gifts. We're too old to be showing up, eating food, drinking people's alcohol, doing all this stuff, and not thinking that it's the appropriate thing to give gifts. So this just been in my heart. We need to have a public service now. We need to let people know you need to be mature and what does these numbers look like. So now let's reverse engineer. Now the average wedding. What does she do?
What is happening?
She messing
I
me
don't
up.
know.
The average wedding.
The average wedding plates is going to be anywhere from $18 up to like $30. Can get up to $40.
Yeah.
So that's how much food costs. For people to be showing up to weddings, bringing $20, $10.
$10. That's absurd.
No,
I
no,
got-
people do that.
We got cars with nothing in it.
Just
There was
like
people-
a well wishes, congratulations on your union.
Yes. We had people that showed up with nothing. We had, and it kind of, it takes me, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because people really think that that's okay to do. In the black community, it's big in the black community, because, I had a conversation prior to our wedding with a friend, and, he was marrying, or it was, actually, Yeah, I'm not gonna say no names, but it was my friend. Her brother was getting married. He's getting married to a white family, and she told me, she's like, "Oh, y'all should be cool." My brother, he made about $10,000. Like I said, I was thinking if everybody brought $20, I should walk away with at least $6,000. I should take my wife on a honeymoon, and we should be able to at least furnish our house with something. We walked away with enough money to just go on a honeymoon that my wife, Shamar, didn't even want to go to. Dre, I came over to your house and we talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's why I want to come on here. And people need to know, stop going to places like that, not giving enough, not thinking about that. People will go to weddings and spend more on an outfit of how you look than even giving people a gift. If we're going to say I believe in this union and I believe in y'all and I'm here to support y'all, majority of divorces happen because of financial reasons. So your gifts is supposed to give these people like a catapult into life so that they don't got to worry about that in the beginning.
But I feel like that's not even like the people's mindset nowadays. Like even like when people are picking like their bridal and their groomsmen and stuff like that. It's based, this is my friend, I knew her the longest, when it's really supposed to be people that, can support your union, or people that if it's hard times, like you can call on, opposed to, this is my friend and we've been in friends since diapers, when your friend ain't even gonna show up to do nothing for you or answer the phone if you and your husband going through something. Yep. So that's not even really the mindset of people nowadays. And then when you inviting people to the wedding, honestly, I think it's just like a fill up the room type of stuff. So my wedding look lit when we post it.
And it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, like nobody is really thinking like.
Because even if you go way, way back in the day, only people who were of a certain status were invited to the weddings because they knew it was proper etiquette to bring a gift or something monetary to help the new couple start their new life. And that's what it's always been about, not just the whole family, friends, and let's just party and have a good time. Meanwhile,
how was yours? Like, did you?
I didn't make no money.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Hope yours wasn't as bad as that. I'm gonna be honest with you. After our wedding, I was kind of like, we was depressed, low-key.
Really?
We was, because all kind of stuff go through your head. You sit there and think about, I invite all these people, that's family, that's friends, and then when you really stop to look at like these numbers, and it's just like, this is nuts. And then you sit there and it's like, we was engaged for 2 years, and yes, people was telling us don't throw a huge wedding. Y'all not gonna get that much money. But we was thinking, what? We've been together for some time. We always wanted a nice wedding. Well, hell, we want to throw a nice wedding. We put so much energy, so much stress, so much everything to this day. Like I said, our wedding cost a lot of money, to us at least. It was a lot of money. We get to this day, we're super duper tired. We get back to the hotel and we like, oh man, it's over. We wake up the next day. Well, let's look at what we got. Let's cheer each other. It's all over. Let's look at the gifts. And we're like, this is it? Are you kidding me? And it really I'm gonna give you a better example. 80 to 90% of what we made, I can count the 5 to 10 people that put the money in. On one hand, I can count probably 5 people that probably gave us 70% of what we had.
Out of 300 people.
Out of 300 people.
That's pitiful.
That's sad.
It is. It's pitiful. And you're right. It is cultural because you never hear of any other race, really, any other culture dealing with this. I know I learned, I was in my homeboy's wedding, white guy. And, everybody celebrates the whole bachelor party. Mm-hmm. Well, white guys, they have stag parties. You know what that is?
What is that?
A stag party is when, so here's how my man's joint work. He's like, we got the stag, and if you're in the wedding, you're required to go and help work the stag party. So they had a few poker games going on, some card games. They had bocce, cornhole, a few raffles, and then alcohol and food. So it was $10 to get in, and then you buy in, of course, for the poker tables. You had to pay to get into the cornhole, bocce tournaments. So alcohol was the food was free, but the alcohol you had to pay for shot, just like if you were going to a bar. And half of all the proceeds for all of those things automatically go to the groom. half of all those. Now, if you win the poker tournament, or why am I stuttering? Or the
don't you? It's almost
or I was a stutter. Or so if you win the poker, bocce,
it's almost like you get a
cornhole. You have an option. You can either keep what you win, or you can give some or all of it to the groom as well. It's totally up to you. So the door, the raffle, everything. So he walked away with, I think it was like maybe 30% of what they had paid for their wedding.
And that was just his bachelor party.
That was just the stag party.
now.
And his wedding was $35,000 is what they paid for. So that was just the stag party. All guys in that place was flooded with people. And he made some bread there. But then, I mean, they really didn't have to worry about, like, so at the wedding, still 300 people, and they made bread back. So really, they made more than the 30 grand that they put into.
So we got our culture. We got our culture. Now, Grant, let me say this before I even go there. My fellas threw me a great bachelor party. These guys took me to Vegas. Can't say the same about my wife, but these guys took me to Vegas. I ain't spend no money. We had a great time. Now, my groomsmen, if any of these guys watch this, I appreciate. Them guys showed themselves up. You know, they took me out. We had a great time. I ain't spend no money. We had a blast.
Y'all seen Roly Poly too, right?
Actually, we did. There was a girl running around. We was calling her Lizzo. Mm-hmm. If any of the guys watch this, they're gonna start screaming. It was this Lizzo girl running around. But we ain't gonna go into that. But I say that because people don't understand. Like, when you don't know, you don't know. That's why we need to have this conversation. So, number one.
But some people do know. They just don't care. You be shocked at what you hear at some of these tables at some of these weddings, or even the conversations prior to going, and you have the conversation of, am I supposed to bring something? What should I bring?
I don't understand.
$50, $100. We're like, I ain't about to give them no $50, no $100. Like that don't even make sense.
I don't understand that. Number one, you send out save the dates 6 months in advance. 6 months in advance. Now, you know you going to a wedding 6 months. Why would you now show up and then you don't got nothing? It's pitiful, man. And it's sad because we sitting around here, and like I said, me and my wife, we was thinking like, you know, we can go in. We really had it mapped out. We thinking to ourselves like, you know, we could probably take our money and probably pay our bills up so we can have a little cushion. So we ain't got to worry about that type of stuff. We freshly getting married. We ain't got to worry about this nonsense. We go into it thinking like, we went into day one trying to figure out how to do stuff, how to get stuff paid. And it's just like, we know people, we got friends that's peach, you know, to be honest with you. Parents and pay for the wedding. They walking away and buying houses, putting a down deposit on their house the next day after their wedding, going to a beautiful honeymoon, and they ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. While I'm sitting here thinking to myself, dang, like, I got 300 people here, and I can barely take my wife on a honeymoon after 2 years of planning for this and stressed out about this. It was pitiful. We sat there and we went on our honeymoon. We couldn't even really have fun. We sat there in the hotel because so many things are going through my mind. Like, dang, you my friend? Dang, did he bring something? Did she bring something? Oh, y'all came, like, all this money that we spent, y'all just came, kicked it, ate our food, drunk our alcohol, and y'all couldn't leave nothing? I'm actually, to this day, you guys, Shamar, I'm actually like, I wouldn't throw another party. I don't want to throw another party for nobody. Like, I would never, unless I throw myself a birthday party, I don't want to throw another party because it's like, I don't want to spend my money on food, alcohol, and stuff for y'all to come kick it with me and walk away, eating my food, having a good time, all on my bill. I'm cool on that. Like, I'd rather take my money and go on vacation, experience something, than throw another party for another person. To be honest with you.
Well, I feel like that's why they end up coming up with different alternatives now too. So like planning out your honeymoon in advance. So at the bridal shower,
and
bachelor party. So now what you have is, instead of bringing me a gift, I'm gonna send you a link, and whatever you were gonna pay. So if your gift would have been $100 or $150 that you were gonna bring to the bridal shower, instead of bringing me a gift, then pay for $150 towards my honeymoon. So that could be an excursion or the flight. You have it labeled on there, and then that money automatically goes towards that. So that's like one of the alternatives that maybe not a lot of people know about, but they've been doing that for a while too. Because that's one of my other buddies. That's what they did. They went to Hawaii, and we all know Hawaii they don't have all inclusive nothing. So everything is a la carte. So that's what they did. Instead of bringing the gift, it was just there's no registry. The registry is basically, this is our itinerary. Put that money toward one of the things on the itinerary.
So let me ask you this, man. Why do you think our culture is? Why do you think people in our culture think like that?
Mindset. And a lot of people don't know either. You don't know what you don't know. Being stingy as well, because a lot of people do know what they should do, because they know what they would want for themselves.
Yeah.
Especially those who have been through it before and didn't get nothing, and then to show up somewhere and still do the same thing that was done to you is kind of jacked up. But stingy, and I get when people, like, if people are going through like hard times and they're unable to bring something, like, that's understandable, and you don't need to give an explanation for that. But I've heard some people in that case say, well, stay home.
I mean, yeah.
Well, if you can't bring, then stay home.
Yeah, because it costs, I mean, if you're following that hard times, don't RSVP and don't come, because these people got to come up with money to pay your butt to come eat and drink.
Yeah.
And after you talk about, a plate, the decoration, all that stuff for that person to be at that wedding, we're talking about $50 for that person to show up. Mm-hmm. And, we're talking about all of that different stuff. And then now it's, I can't bring nothing, but I want to go. Like people really think, like, and I'm not no shot to you, but people really think, oh, well, my presence, like, I'm just showing up and my presence is like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you did. You said that's what you gave your dad at the renewing of the vow.
That was my parents. They was fine.
Oh, well. No, but people think like that, for real. Like, all jokes aside.
So you owe them a gift.
Okay.
No, but this, I mean,
At all.
this stuff is sad, though.
Oh, man.
No, I do agree. Excuse me, it's my turn.
All right.
I do agree with you, Nick. That's awful. Like, that's horrible. 300 people and y'all made out $1,300 with one gift. That is fucking horrible. But I do think, like, it's like Dre said, if you don't know, you don't know. Because even me, like, I haven't been to a lot of weddings. Like, heck, I just haven't. So I don't know, like, where, but I definitely wouldn't show up to a wedding empty-handed. That's just.
So you only went to one wedding?
Yeah. I went to one
But my
wedding.
whole thing is, I don't show up to.
Think a little bit.
I don't show up to anything
I was in
empty-handed.
another wedding.
Why would you ever show up to anything empty-handed?
What did you give them?
What did I give them?
Nothing. If you got to think.
No. I did get them a gift. I got to think about it. I really did get them a gift, though. Shit, if I tell you if I ain't get a gift.
All right.
Because y'all know I will, though. Like,
a candle don't count either. If you got them a candle, that don't count.
That's people go to.
I hope you didn't give them a candle.
I didn't, but wait, she said that's people's go-to.
Let me ask you this, because you threw yourself a birthday party before. Or was that like a birthday dinner?
I always do a dinner every year.
Okay, but think about if you threw yourself a birthday party and you had to cater and everything.
Yeah. That's something like what I'm doing for my birthday this year, but I'm very selective on who I want there. And it's not on some, oh, yeah, this is my acquaintance or this is my friend. No, I keep saying very intimate for a reason. Very small, very intimate with select few people who I know, like, I don't know. I'm not a person, like, when it comes to my birthday that's like, oh, where's my gift? That's never been me. I'm more so about the time and the vibe that we have. Come have a good time with me, because I get happy off stuff like that. So if you bring a gift, cool. I'm not requiring you to bring me a gift. I'm not looking for, oh, you ain't bring me no. I've never been one of those type of people. But it's on some, like, I don't want you here, like, just because the different space that I'm at, I don't want everybody in my, like, I don't want everybody around me like that anymore. So I continuously say I'm having a small, intimate birthday dinner party. That is it. Like, before, it would be on some, oh, well, you heard about it, you want to come pull up? No.
But like, you know, because it's small and intimate, you know the people that are going to come are definitely going to bring something.
Right.
So that's the same thing when you're planning for a wedding or something like that.
But that's why I asked
you
him,
should
because
be very intentional on doing that.
And I agree. And I asked him because we're young. Heck, well, not you, Dre. We're young, so it's like did you invite, like our young friends who on some like, oh, well, they just gonna be happy if I show up or something like that, whose mindset isn't thinking like, I'm setting this couple up to do something like this. I'm pushing them into and welcoming them into marriage and stuff like that. So
let me keep it funky with you. When you go sit down and you start talking prices with these catering people,
I know it's
you start thinking like you that list will go from 100, 200 people down to, did I talk to them in the last 6 months? No, cut them off. When people be on Facebook, they say stuff like, I wish I could invite everybody, but I can't. I feel if I don't get invited to a wedding, good, thank you. I know what it look. I know what it costs.
Good, thank you.
No, I mean, because I know, you know what I'm saying? Like I think our original list was like $350. It's because we both got big families. So it's like you get a 125 or 175. I get 175. That's 100 people for your family. 75 for like friends and stuff like that, and then you gotta have money for your bridal party, all of this different stuff. And then so we went to a caterer, and they was like, "Oh, what you want to eat?" And they was slick with. They brought us, "Okay, we got this, and we're gonna bring y'all the food." Okay, something like that'll cost about, and it cost about maybe $20-something a person. And you go, 27, 28, they ain't that bad. You go home, you pull your calculator, like 27. God damn, that's about $6,000, $7,000. Let's go back to this list and see who I talked to within the last 6 months.
Do people do weddings and make people pay for their own plates?
Yes.
Yes. Now that's tacky, but yes.
Why is it tacky?
It's tacky because, listen, I'm going to tell you straight.
Why is it tacky, though?
Because I think that if you invite somebody.
No, that's not what I did, but I've heard of plenty of people that do it. For me, I look at it like this. If I was bringing you a gift, I'm paying you that money anyways, giving it, so I'll pay for my plate to come and celebrate somebody that I like.
And it's not like they're asking you for like, oh, your plate $85.
Nah. Let me tell you another thing.
It's actually low-key kind of smart.
I think that you're limited to, because if you tell me to pay for your plate, let's say the plate is $30, I give you any more. I typically
$30.
But I'm just saying, I don't know. I just think that, I don't know, just the asking for it to me.
Listen, people gonna pay for what they want to pay for nowadays. They spend $30 plus on some new shoes, Gucci belt, a wig, nails, all that.
To come to that wedding. You
mad because I'm telling you, hey, look, we about to get married. You've been knowing us. If you rock with us, pull up on us. But your plate $25 though, and if you really mess with us, then you will be there. That $25 ain't nothing for you. What people gonna pay for what they want to pay for? You want to know? Then you ain't losing out on no money. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't.
Yep. And you want to know? You said you wanted to know what the difference was between our culture is any other culture, especially white people. They don't care about asking.
And did you hear Shushu say that's ghetto?
What, asking to pay? No.
I never been to a wedding like that.
Because white folk will be like, hey, you should come to a wedding. Hey, plates are $30.
Sure, Tom, here it is now.
No shame, no nothing. Just straight up, this is what it is.
They hand you a 50. Don't worry about the change.
I never been to one of those before. Any wedding, white, black, Asian.
Was you guys bar open?
Yes.
And that's another thing.
No, was it open? It was open.
Listen, so why not?
Oh no, we had a wedding. We had cocktail hour. We did the whole shindig. See, that's what makes it more upsetting. Like I said, we took 2 years to plan this out.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's what made it more upsetting, is that we put all this preparation, blood, sweat, tears. It was fighting with folk, you know what I'm saying, to get what we wanted, disagreements. Y'all shouldn't have it there, but we want to have it there. It's our wedding. We going to pay for it. And
yeah, see, I didn't have to deal with none of that when I got married, because I sat down and had a talk where I said, listen, we don't want to get married. I don't care what nobody else think, what nobody else say. We're open to suggestions, and we'll gladly hear some people's opinions. But at the end of the day, I was real strong with the whole, I don't want nobody holding nothing over our head, and I don't want to be doing something because somebody did something for us. So the bulk of this, if not all, we paying for, in which 90%, 95% of the wedding we paid for out of our own pockets.
Did you guys pay for your wedding?
Mm-hmm.
So we ain't have to listen to nobody say, well, I gave you this, so you should do this. But also, it was like one of those smart things. It was like, listen, hey, your mom's friends, you know, them old heads, like, we inviting them, right? Because I knew
that's where the money at.
My cousin or my such and such, them broke, they ain't bringing nothing.
That's why I asked, like, were you strategic in who you were inviting? Because even at graduation parties and stuff like that, those are the ones that you want there.
Yes.
If that's what you're looking for, not our friends that we done. Oh, we went to high school together. They don't give a fuck. They're not about to buy.
It's hard. It's easy.
It's super
but at
easy.
the same time, I was young, so I'm like, at the same time, we just friends and stuff, and it's like we did have a lot of old people. I mean, we had family and stuff there. It just didn't turn out to what I mean. I don't know.
And I think pulling on resources was like key too. So like I knew a lot of people. She did, and then like my family did. Or her was like, oh, such and such got this business, or they do this, so we can cut costs here to do this. So like, man, if you pull out old tapes of that wedding, like it was super, super nice, and people would guess that it was 20,000-30,000. It only cost us 11,500. That's it. That's because I pulled on resources, was cutting deals. If you got to get to Gab, you better use that joint when you doing these, and just because you can get a place. A lot of people think that well, some places already come like venues, and it's like, man, the venue is just super, super nice, so it don't need that many decorations. But you can get a decent venue, and if you got the right decorator for the right price, that can really like sharpen that bad boy up and make it look lavish.
I'm gonna tell you the problem we ran into, and I ain't gonna say no names over here because I don't want to get sent a cease and desist letter or nothing like that. Our venue, they didn't allow, like, you had to be all licensed. They had particular people that they wanted to work with, the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't like bring in, for instance, like the caterer had to be a licensed caterer. Like you couldn't just be
Your
my
auntie
mama
that make
cooking
bomb
something.
macaroni and
Yeah,
cheese.
no, they had to be a licensed caterer. They had to run through all of our vendors or DJs or lighting people to make sure like they were strategic on who they wanted to come in and work. Like they didn't play no games. And yes, like we spent a lot of money on our venue, but it's like we grew up in Youngstown, and this is staple. It's like, man, I always wanted to get married there. I always wanted to be there, but it costs big money to go there. Yeah. Another thing I want to touch on too, man, and this is probably gonna hurt some feelings, but I personally feel like another thing in the Black culture we need to get back to looking to help and pay our kids' is weddings and stuff like that off. Like I think that, you know, there's a responsibility that us as parents, and, you know, our parents probably couldn't do it, but we need to get back to, you know, helping out with stuff like that, because this is why sometimes we're behind the 8 ball as people, because all of our counterparts or our people that we go to school with or work with and stuff like that, their parents is paying for this stuff. Their parents are giving them this money, and then now they can take their money that they would have spent on a wedding and deposit this. Like they're just giving them this boost into the future that us as kids and stuff, we're paying off goddamn on student loan debt, weddings and stuff like that our parents couldn't help us with. And I'm not sitting here mad at my parents, but I feel like they could have prepared this better, because at the end of the day, when we're born, we need to start putting some money up. And I'm not saying pay for an elaborate wedding, but at least help your kids out in a manner where you can kind of elevate them into their future like the white kids and stuff like that. And, you know, we sit here and we look at all of our people. Like my wife, she got friends that they got out of college. Oh, I just bought my first house. We're moving. We just did this and we just did that. Like they got a boost into life while we sitting around here paying off tuition and college debt and trying to pay for a wedding and stuff like that. And our parents looking like, oh, y'all can do it. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to get back to paying for our kids stuff. You got a kid, start saving money immediately. Mm-hmm. Like start open up a bank account and put $20-$30 in there a week. By the time they're 20, 25 years old, ready to get married, you should have a bulk of money that you can help your child out with a wedding. Or you should be able to pay some of their tuition off or do something for them so that they can have a great future and they can actually compete in the marketplace with the rest of the people. Like when I went to college, I don't know about y'all, but when I was in school, I'm working to pay off my stuff. That's a part of me. I can't even focus on my classes all like that because I'm trying to pay my bills and live and do all this stuff. While I was an engineer, so I'm the only black one in my classes. All these jokers, parents didn't pay for them to go to school, or I'm like, yo, like that's why I'm not saying like I'm blaming my parents, but I'm just saying how much easier can we get through life if we did have that boost. And I'm not saying to sit around and give us $100,000, but if you put away, you can do the math, $100 a month, that's a damn cell phone bill. If you can make your cell phone bill, you could put $100 a month away for your child. It's $1,200 at the end of the year. You'll have over $20,000 in 20 years. Like we need, and then if you put that in a some type of investment banking account that's growing interest, you'll have a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But we don't think like that. You know, we sit around here and have all these dang on kids because we having them, and y'all can't even afford to put money away for these kids.
Instead of putting these kids in Jordans and all of this other name brand bull crap, Gucci. I seen some kid with some Gucci shoes on.
Oh, it's bad now.
Yo, was like 3 or 4 years old.
It is bad now.
Man,
Like, God, dog. Like, instead of getting all that, I mean, you can literally invest in their future versus what they about to go to preschool or kindergarten.
It's
looking
bad.
Like,
Then you
what?
ask little Daquan what his name is, and he growl at you or say
Exactly.
7. So it's just like priorities. I just feel like priorities are just in the wrong place.
It's all on
just
image.
Us, like, as like black. I work with this girl, and she is 26. So I don't even know how we got on the topic, but we were talking about college and stuff, and she was saying like how she didn't. This is how we got on the topic. She was saying she didn't have a cell phone until she was 17, and I'm like, what? Why did I have my first cell phone at 10? So that just went into like her saying like she graduated, what is that, magna cum laude and all of that because she didn't have a cell phone. She wasn't allowed to work. Like her focus was strictly on school. So I'm just like, dang, like what? Oh God, I had a job. Like what? Like, I didn't fail out of college or nothing like that, but I definitely ain't graduating with honors or nothing like that. And then we just started talking about, like, us as adults. And it's just like, she was telling me she still stays at home and she doesn't have to pay any bills. Her going to work is for her to save to buy her own house. And I'm like, no shots at our parents, but I know like the few times I did go back home, I had to help my mom with rent. And it wasn't her being malicious or anything like that. It's just like, heck, you darn near struggling too. And I know me being here is raising the bill, so you are going to need that help. But it's just like, if we were to get that same type of like setup, I guess, in life, where will we be at? Because we're already at a disadvantage. Heck, how many parents y'all know putting credit cards and shit and light bills and gas bills in their kid's name, and the kid can't even talk yet? So it's just like, sometimes I feel like we're at a disadvantage before we even have an opportunity to try to even do anything. And it sucks. Like, it's sad. So it's like we aren't even born on a level playing field. But then that doesn't mean stay there. Like, that doesn't mean like just because my mom did this, okay, now it's time, what are you going to do about it? Because heck, even like, and I'll be the first one to say it, I didn't know a lot about credit or anything like that. I wasn't taught that. My mom wasn't taught that.
Man,
so now it's up to me. Yeah, it's up to us. I jacked my credit up
to learn about it.
Yes, it's up to us to go and learn those things that our parents didn't know to teach us, so that we can be like, now that we know better, it's time to do better. Pass that stuff down to our own kids, opposed to just like repeating the cycle. Like, I want food stamps so bad, but it's just like, I only want them because I'm tired of spending my own money on food. But I can't, they won't give them to me. But the mindset is like, oh, well, yeah, I'm good. People get happy to be on Section 8.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be assistance to help you, not for you to just kick it and be like, yeah, my rent only $28 up in the club. What's up?
And you passing on that mindset.
Yes, we passed that mind. And it's like, you don't even know what you're doing.
When you living on food stamps, your kid's going to grow up and the first thing they want to do is, let me go down to the welfare office because I got to get these food stamps.
I got to get these food stamps, cash assistance, instead of going out and getting a job, so you don't have to do stuff like that.
Not even going to get a job, but having your parents. So you ain't got to go get a job. The bills is paid, so you ain't got to go get a job, and you can go to school and you can do whatever you want. You should not have to focus on getting a job until you 22, 23 years old.
Now, to comment on that too, for people who may say that,
I'm gonna get some backlash.
What if my kid doesn't want to go to college? Still the same principles, because if that kid doesn't want to go to college, then you got trade school.
Yes. Yep.
You have
I think college is a scam to be
military. You got military, you got trade school, and if they did want to go straight into the workforce, right? Still take that money and just say, all right, keep letting that money accrue, and then at 21, make sure you sitting down with them every year. What you trying to do? Where you trying to go? And still, they could use that money now for a down payment on a house, a car, whatever you do. Just give them a boost, though. So I don't think you're just saying just for school. Just in general, in general,
there needs to be money.
Make sure that they're set up for their future and they're not like behind the 8 ball at 18. Because I know at 18, it was funny because the first time I heard of credit was when me and one of my boys tried going to get an apartment fresh out of high school. And it's like, all right, we got to check y'all credit. I was like, whatever. We need your social. I was like, all right, I mean, this is my social. And he was like, what's your credit? I was like, I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
And he was like,
not knowing that having no credit is just as bad credit.
He was like, yeah, mine's is at a 685 right now. I was like, well, heck, maybe I'm around there too. We just graduated. I mean, we graduated about 6 months ago. And they're like, yes, sir, you don't have any credit. I mean, you're going to need a cosigner. I'm like, I guess we ain't getting this apartment then because, but I think it's something it's something that we need to do as kids or as adults, as parents. Sit our kids down, and when we go in to pay the bills, whatever day we do it, sit our kids down at the table with us and say, all right, this is what I'm paying. This is what I'm doing. Teach them how to balance a checkbook if you still use a checkbook. Teach them how to pay bills. This is what I'm doing. So it's the same thing with like in all things adulthood, right? So kids learn how to argue by way of their parents. Kids learn how to deal with trauma, stress by way of their parents. So it's the same thing with finances. They're going to learn how to deal with finances by way or lack thereof because of their parents. So if you're not sitting down showing your kid how to pay bills, how to save, why they should save, it's something that my daughter, my 16-year-old, that joker, I love tennis shoes. And she always, I'm going to get these tennis shoes. All of them cost $150 or more. I ain't buying you no $150 pair of tennis shoes. I ain't doing it. So, she starts saving up her money. Now she came back one time and bought some $300 tennis shoes.
Was it like
and she had to deal.
My shoes wasn't that much.
But listen.
Then what the heck did she get for girls?
I don't know.
I can't remember what them joints was, but I was
some Yeezys.
But she got a 3-hour lecture from me, and while we were talking about it, I said, "Listen, you should not make a purchase on anything, especially now, unless you get 3 times the money. So unless you get 3 times the money of that product, do not buy it ever again." So now what does she do? Whenever I see her with some shoes or something else, I'll look at her and she'll be like, I got 4 times the money, Dad.
Oh, period.
I'll be like, all right, cool.
Shut up.
Because she don't want another 3-hour lecture. But it's something where we sat down, I talked to her, we talked about finances, we talked about saving, and same thing. I said, don't be worried about going out here trying to show off for your friends. Let them do it. Because at the end of the day, while they looking fly, they asking you to borrow money. Be the borrower, not the lender. Or be the lender, not the borrower.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, be the lender, not the borrower. But don't let them borrow money from you unless you will get that joint back.
And then how many parents are actually having conversations like that with their kids, though?
Not a lot.
Like, it's just.
But how can they have? They can't have that
that's
conversation.
What I'm saying.
They struggle.
They don't know.
And I say all of this to say I love my parents. I love my parents. They did what they could, what they knew, because my dad wasn't raised. It's a generational thing. Mm-hmm. My dad was raised by drug dealers and pimps and stuff like that. That was my dad's example. So when my dad made it and started his business, my dad was doing good in the family. And then, it's like, I look at life like a relay race. We're supposed to pass our kids the baton, and our ceiling is supposed to be their floor. So I say all of this to say, I complain about my wedding. I complain about this stuff. I vowed that the second I have a child, I will start putting money into a banking account so they will never have to go through what we went through. I say all that to say I learned my lesson that none of my children will ever have to pay for their wedding. I want to have a nice house. I want to have a wedding at my own house, like the white folks do it. But I say that to say the second they're born, and I'm not about to say we ain't got to save tons and tons of money, but we can afford to put $100, $200 in a banking account a month and let this thing grow and whatever they want to do. Even if my daughter don't get married here, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do, let me put the chunk down on your house. Because little do we know, I didn't know this too maybe a few years ago, is that my rent can cost the same as my mortgage. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. So you telling me
or less? I'm
paying more. I was staying in a 1-bedroom apartment, and my cousin got a whole house, and my rent is more than his mortgage. What they do? Well, ain't nobody tell me this. Mm-hmm. But you just gotta have your down deposit, have your credit right, and stuff like that. But when you don't know, you don't know. Mm-hmm. So like I said, my wedding was a terrible experience on that end. I had a great time. I married my wife. On that end, it was a terrible experience. But I say that to say I want to be able to give my kids a great gift as far as if it's, like Dre just said, if they don't want to go to college, here, I got a business plan and I got some capital for you. If y'all want to get married, I got capital for you. If you want to, buy your first house, let me put the down deposit. Let me help you. And I say that to say, let me put you in a position that you can win.
Yeah.
let me have a house that's paid off so that when my child come home, they don't got to feel obligated to have to help me pay bills. Let me be able to, if you need help with school and you ain't get all the scholarships, let me fund that little bit of leftover so you ain't got to get a job while you in class and you can focus on all school. And when you graduate, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me be that parent to give you that leverage so that I can boost you into the future so that you're not behind by the time you get your stuff together. By the time, in our culture, by the time we don't start getting our stuff together later in 30.
So we 30s, yeah. And I'll say, don't give your child a boost by putting yourself in debt too.
Oh no.
I don't believe in that.
No.
Don't get in debt trying to give your child the absolute best. Like, they already, although we should have them prepared to be better than us by the time they get out, even if you're not in position to give or do all of this stuff, like, they're still starting off better because they don't have all the baggage that we have. And also, stop kicking your kid out at 18 just because they grown. Like, we got to be some of the only folk that do that too. Like, you grown, you need to be out on your own. Like, get on out there and experience life. And you why everybody else allow their kid to, my one buddy, he was home until he was 26. 26, he got engaged. He was still there. And then he got married at 27. He was paying rent to his parents. So the wedding gift, they helped pay for the wedding.
They gave
but
that rent money back.
All of that rent money, they never spent it. They put it up and they gave it to him for a down payment on a house for him and his wife.
I've been crying so bad.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Ooh, so bad.
So he was the oldest, but they did that. They didn't know it. The kids didn't know that, but they did that they had 3 kids. They did it for all 3 kids. Had them pay rent, didn't touch the rent money, just put it up until they got married.
That's so smart.
I'll tell you this, some of the most successful people I do know to this day had very helpful parents. Mm-hmm. One of my wife's family members, they got married and their parents gifted them a house. It wasn't, I don't really know, but it gifted them a house. They had a nice house, but they went into life not having to pay a mortgage to the point where their family got bigger. They bought a beautiful house out in Cleveland because they didn't have to sit around here and put a down deposit or pay all this money. They was able to save their money that they would have paid on rent or a mortgage or trying to get that stuff. And they got their stuff together, went to school. Both of them went to school. They didn't have to worry about that financial burden in the beginning. So they was able to both go to school. They both got into their careers. They have a beautiful home out in Cleveland now. That's like, it's a dream house for somebody. But it's just like, because their parents was able to bless them with a gift so they don't got to think about that. A lot of times we start too early with that financial burden that we shouldn't be. Like you said, a kid is 18 years old. I was dumb as hell at 18. All I wanted to do was go somewhere and get drunk and hump somebody.
I'll say this too though. Even like now, or like if you're struggling and you're not in a position to help monetarily, like I understand like our parents and their parents, like they didn't know and they wouldn't taught nothing, but when you get grown, at some point you learn your lesson because you go through a lot of struggle and hardships. That alone is a lesson. So if you give nothing else to your kids, give them knowledge on what not to do. Explain and tell them your story. Don't think just because they too young. No, start them early. This is the path you don't want to take because these are the consequences, and this is the environment that we're in now because of my decisions, because of what I did not know, what I did not apply, and there's way too much knowledge out here free for people to still be stuck in the same jacked up situation. There's no reason to be out here not winning. You don't, we're living in an age where you ain't got to go to school no more to be a millionaire. And we ain't saying you got to go get $1 million. You can go get a cool $100,000 real quick, but there's a million ways to get $1 million. There's a million ways to get $1,000 to get extra money. So there's too much knowledge out here and too many people out here teaching people how to win, how to make money. For us to still be stuck culturally and just like individually and stuck in a rut. Like it makes no sense at all to still be in the same place. So at least pass down knowledge, when I'm saying pass down your struggle, it's telling the story of your struggle. to your kids so that they don't go the same route. And this is if you, I would say do this whether you're in a position to bless your kids monetarily or not. Like pass that knowledge down so that they can do better.
I agree. I still think that people can bless their kids monetarily though.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I'm just saying no, they should.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm saying you should. I'm just saying
And
because some
even-
people aren't in a position to do that. And some people don't catch on to things a lot easier and they give up. And if you look at us culturally and you can go to the hood and pull 10 people in, you start explaining something to them and just be like, give me an hour. Guarantee you'll lose most of them within 10 minutes because they don't understand it or they just don't care about learning it. I'm cool. I don't need to learn all this. I'm straight. And it's just like, unfortunately, that's the mentality, but it shouldn't be, but
No, I agree with you.
that's what it is.
I just think we can rearrange our lives to put something away. Because I'm not even saying you got to give your kids in 20 years, 20,000. But I'm saying if you put away $20 a month, $30 a month, anybody that has a job can do that. $20 a month is not taking your A to a fast food restaurant and getting a burger.
It's sacrifice. And
It's sacrifice.
Sacrifice and discipline.
$30 a month is $1 a day. Anybody that got a job can put away $1 a day for their kids. You put away $1 a day, that's $30, and a year you got almost $400.
And there's other ways to do it too. Not say hustle. Take out a life insurance policy, whole life on your kids. You ain't hoping that they die. But
you can pull that whole life.
But you can pull from that whole life when they turn 18 or 21. You could pull from that and let that be their own bank.
And then what's the whole thing? If you have credit cards, make your kids like an authorized
Make
user.
them authorized user.
When they turn 18, you can make your kid an authorized user and they got an automatic 700 credit score.
Because they'll take your credit.
That's if you got good. Don't
don't.
put them on there if your stuff is jacked up. But
we
if
just,
you're in good standing,
we need to learn. I feel like every child you have, you need to be in a better position for that child to win. Stop having all these kids if you can't afford to have them.
Yeah.
Folks out here got 4, 5 kids and they sitting around
Food
here
stamps going
broke.
nuts. Give me some.
Man.
Food stamps going ham, and
me
they
some.
selling half of it.
Give me some.
I be buying it. I ain't.
That's
gonna
that hustle.
I be buying it.
So when you sell half of it, put it up for the kids.
Yes. There's folks out here getting thousands of dollars. Put some of that up. Shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
But that got you hot, huh?
I just think that, man, I don't know. I feel like we're just not set up for success all the time. And a lot of times the success can come from information. The success can come from, like Dre said, experience that you're teaching people. But I feel like we go into life behind the 8 ball. Mm-hmm. We don't know about credit. We don't know about mortgages. We don't know. All we're told, and I'm not saying everybody, but we're told, go get you some food stamps, go get you on some government assistance, let that help you out. And it's like, no, why don't you teach these people how to build their credit, how to go get a mortgage, and not even a mortgage, even if you don't want to buy your house, but be able to budget yourself so that you can afford to have some money saved over. People grow up and don't even know how to budget their money.
Yeah.
People don't even got a system. You ask 10 people on the street in the hood, say, hey, how do you handle your money? Week by week.
Yeah. I ain't even, I mean, it's not even just in the hood no more.
I'm just saying.
It spilled over, but I get what you're saying though.
I worked in a pawn shop, bro. I worked in a pawn shop that people were in a cycle where the first of the month they get all their stuff out and bring all their household items, TVs, game systems, and all this stuff, bring it all in throughout the month. Like I'm watching kids that don't want to give up their TV, but you got to do to pay the bills. But then the same people, it's so funny because it's a mentality. The same people that's doing it every month, they'll turn around tax season and get $10,000 and coming into the same pawn shop and dropping thousands of dollars on game systems, TVs, and stuff like that. When I don't understand, why don't you just take your money and pay your bills up?
Yeah.
I don't understand this world, this cycle, this mindset. But I think that it's passed down generation to generation, and we have to be the generation to stop it, and we got to be the generation we got to be the ones. We have to be this generation for our families so that we can go in a different direction so that our kids and our grandkids don't got to deal with what we dealt with.
And we can't place blame because that's what you hear a lot of. Well, I can't do this because of this. And they love, we can't even blame the white man no more.
Man, I'm 28 years old. I ain't got nobody to blame but myself.
You can go on YouTube and learn anything and make money from it.
We can have an episode.
We cannot blame anybody at all at this point. We can only blame ourselves for the situations that we're in, and we are the ones who have to do something about it. Not nobody else. Ain't nobody gonna give us no handout. No. Not this day and age. You gotta go out there and get it.
We living in an information age. You can go on YouTube right now and learn how to do a brain surgery. Ain't no reason why you can't learn how to go do something.
Ain't operating on me.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend it.
But you can though.
But what I'm saying is, you go on YouTube, you can learn anything.
TikTok too.
Yeah.
Ain't no reason why we ain't. You know what I'm saying? The coldest.
You out here cooking?
I made some stuff from TikTok.
Yeah. What you make?
The salmon and shrimp pasta. It was really good.
Was it good?
I said it was really good.
Did you just try it, or did other people?
Yeah. Did we have any other people that tried it?
You cook for somebody?
Cheyenne.
Is that like your dog?
I don't have a dog.
Oh, all right. So,
What?
anyways, all right.
Was it good?
Yes.
She claimed it was good.
I'm
You cooking tomorrow?
this. No.
Well, we
You
supposed to be having a
supposed to.
meeting. Yeah, you supposed to be making tacos
I
tomorrow.
did say
Yeah.
tacos, didn't I? Okay.
Why don't you just make the shrimp and
No, we voted on tacos.
No, we didn't.
What kind of tacos?
Who
Shrimp
voted on
tacos.
who voted on tacos?
We did say tacos.
We said tacos. We'll talk about that after the podcast.
Okay, yeah. This was a good episode.
It was good.
I had to get
You
that.
came
as
with a
on-
good topic.
Yeah.
I just had this on my heart and on my mind. I think that people need to know about this, and I think that we need to start growing up as people. I started off with talking about the weddings, so we need to know to stop going to weddings thinking that bringing a $20 or digging in your pocket and thinking only scratch
Just
your
the
gap
FYI.
is appropriate.
So proper etiquette is if you're single, it's $50.
Yes.
If
Couples
you
is
are,
100.
any couple, it's $100. It's just minimum.
And that's
so
minimum.
you can give more if you're a single, and you can give more if you're a couple. But minimum $50 for single, $100 for a couple.
And that's minimum. You can bring more.
Yes.
Bless your people. If you go to a wedding and you love these people, you want to see them make it, bless them people financially. I don't want to hear no bull crap. My presence is a present. You can take your presence down the road. What's proper etiquette for a birthday party? I'm thinking,
What's the age? What kind of
Yeah,
party?
what-
That's a wide
like your
range.
birthday party. Like you inviting people to an intimate birthday party for an adult.
For that, if it's an intimate party, in my opinion, it's best to know the individual. So if it's that intimate and you're being invited to an intimate
You gotta
thing, then
know
you
me.
should know
Like,
that
give
person
me a gift.
and get them a gift based on that.
I don't think
So you
I don't
got-
think I gave Angel a card. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh.
kidding.
I mean, you can't go wrong
Angel
with money.
sent us all individually an expensive gift that she wanted from us. All individually.
I ain't mad
Somebody
at
bought
it.
her a Gucci belt.
Let me tell you this.
I ain't mad at it.
I wanted Angel on this episode because me and
But
Angel,
she's a person that you don't have a problem doing that for because Angel gives all
Angel
throughout
gives
the
good
year.
gifts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Angel was one of the people at the wedding, gave a good financial gift. And it's funny because Angel was on Drew came. Drew came with Angel. And I think Angel told me she got on Drew and Drew gave a good gift. So Angel said, you ain't coming with me giving no. You ain't.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Bro, I had people literally, and I don't want to get back on this. We had like groups, like families. The card would have 5 people's name on it and had $20 on it.
Should have been like $200 up in there.
But listen, I say that to say, like you said, I don't say this to blame nobody. I don't say this to get a pity party. I say this to know what we went through, and I say this because I vow that all of my kids will not have to go through this. And like I said, I'm putting that on myself. That's a challenge that I'm putting on myself. That means I got to be in a position to be able to fund this. I got to be able to be financially prepared to take on these burdens, whether it's my son, whether it's my daughter. Even if my son marry a woman that they parents gonna pay for it, then here you got some money that you can go do whatever you want with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just vow, me and my wife has vowed that none of our kids will go through that. And I say that to say we went through that lesson to this is what we vowed to each other, that the second our child start breathing, they will have a banking account, that we will have something for them. You know, God willing, I'm able to do that. But that's what we told ourselves.
It's good stuff, man. Sile, you got anything? Any takeaways?
No.
Oh God.
Just-
Nothing.
I said no.
Why?
This is a very informative episode. Good topic, Nick.
She needed to hear all of this.
I
She
did.
don't go to much weddings.
I said informative because I didn't know. So like
She
I
had
really
birthday
came
parties.
into this like, what?
What?
What did you say? Slap you when you as soon as you turn it off. No, this was very informative because there are some people like I didn't know what the range and stuff was for weddings. I haven't went to many.
I don't
weddings
think that people
but I
know what
would
goes
never,
into a wedding.
and you don't because
That's
I
the thing.
definitely went. What did you say? 30? Somebody said 30,000 or something
My
like that.
homeboys, yeah.
I didn't freaking know that weddings
But
was that much money.
we spent like 25.
No, now I see what people plan so far in advance, but you definitely shouldn't go anywhere empty-handed. That's just like person etiquette. If you're being invited to some sort of whatever. Now, as far as like getting down into the details, like, oh, if you're this, you one person, this is your. I didn't know that, so very informative.
So my takeaway is that we just all need to do a better job at being intentional. Be intentional with the people that are close to you, that you love, friends, family, your kids. Set your kids up. I'm a firm believer. Your kids go find a lot of these talks real boring. Do it anyways. And I promise you, they are listening. It may be boring, but the more you talk to them about it, like, so you can talk to them about stocks. Even if you don't know it, go listen to a video and then go back. Talk to them about stocks. Talk to them about bonds,
Crypto, Forex, something.
Yeah, talk to them about, and then look. By the time they get 18, try to learn about stuff that's going to be coming their way, so that you can get them used to the verbiage, so that they're not behind. Just try to do everything possible to get them ahead in life, so they can be on target by the time they graduate high school, not just college. And let's just be better out here. Just be better. Yeah. With that, play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Peace.
If I had one wish, y'all would follow us, like and subscribe to our channel.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered, starring Big Mama,
AKA the biggest and the realest and the trillest.
We know y'all like what y'all be hearing on this joint. So go ahead and like, follow, and do a big, huge, if you're watching, hit the subscribe button down there. If you're listening to us, find the subscribe and download button somewhere on this platform and hit that button. That way you can be well informed when we drop something new, whether it be social media, whether it be on here. This could be Apple, unless you're an Android user like myself. It may be on Android phones, right? Spotify. Either way, follow us. Like our pages on social media. Snapchat's coming soon. YouTube is up and live. We got them videos uploaded. Check our TikTok out. We got the Hershey Kisses in live effect on TikTok. These two acting a fool. Okay, so we appreciate y'all tuning in. Kanisha didn't say nothing. Kanisha, what you got for us?
Nothing. Tune in.
Great. Tune in. Play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.
One fish.